My Nana always told me one rule about her farmhouse. Never go near the crawl space under the house. I thought she was just being old and paranoid. Until one night, I heard footsteps downstairs. Not hers, because my Nana was asleep next to me. And whatever was walking through that kitchen had been dead 4 years. My Nana lived alone in a farmhouse deep in rural Maine. There were no neighbors 4 miles. Just endless woods, a long dirt road, and an old house that seemed to make strange noises even when the wind was completely still. It was her home, her safe place, the only place where she felt truly happy. Every summer, I spent a week there with her. I loved visiting her. Life in the city was always loud and stressful, but her farmhouse was different. The mornings were quiet, the air felt cleaner, and the nights were so dark you could see every star in the sky. I never thought that one of those peaceful summer nights would become something I would remember forever. The first strange thing happened on my first night there. I woke up around 2:30 a.m. because I heard someone walking downstairs. At first, I wasn't scared. I assumed it was Nana. Maybe she couldn't sleep. Maybe she was making tea or getting something from the kitchen. But the footsteps didn't stop. They continued for almost an hour, slow, steady. Back and forth across the kitchen floor. There was something strange about the rhythm. It wasn't someone walking around randomly. It sounded like someone was pacing, like they were waiting for something. The next morning, I casually mentioned it while we were eating breakfast. Nana was spreading butter on a biscuit when she suddenly froze. "Sweetheart," she said, "I take sleeping pills." I was asleep all night. I laughed because I thought she was joking. Then she asked me something that instantly changed the mood. "Did it sound like shoes?" I nodded. And the second I did, I saw her face change. She went pale. After a long silence, she told me something I didn't know. My papa used to pace the kitchen every night before bed. Same footsteps, same pattern, back and forth. I tried to convince myself it was nothing. My papa had been gone for 4 years. Maybe Nana was just connecting random things because she missed him. That was the logical explanation. At least, that's what I wanted to believe. Because the other possibilities were much worse. The third night, something different happened. I woke up again. But this time, the sound wasn't coming from downstairs. It was coming from my bedroom wall. At first, I thought it was an animal. Then I heard it, a slow scratching sound, like fingernails dragging across wood. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. I sat completely still, listening. Then the scratching stopped. For a few seconds, the room was silent, and then I heard 3 knocks. Knock, knock, knock. The sound came from inside the wall. Not outside. Not from another room, inside the wall. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I just stared at the ceiling, waiting for something else to happen. The next morning, I checked the outside of the house. I wanted to find a simple explanation. Maybe a branch was touching the wall. Maybe some animal had gotten close, but there was nothing. No branches, no footprints, no animals. Just the old farmhouse standing silently in the middle of the woods. That afternoon, I helped Nana clean the basement. I tried not to think about the sounds from the night before, but my mind kept going back to them. While moving some old shelves, I noticed a small wooden door hidden behind them. It was barely visible, a crawl space. The opening was tiny, maybe 3 feet tall. An adult would have to crawl to get inside. There was an old padlock hanging from the door. It looked ancient, rust covered the metal, like nobody had opened it in years. I looked at Nana. "What's in there?" For the first time that week, my Nana didn't look calm. She looked scared. "Nothing," she said. The answer bothered me, because if there was nothing inside, why was it locked? She didn't explain. She just told me to leave it alone. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about the crawl space. The footsteps, the scratching, the knocks. Everything felt connected somehow. Around midnight, I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and quietly walked downstairs. I didn't want Nana to wake up. The basement felt different at night. During the day, it was just an old basement. But after midnight, it felt like something was hiding there. The air smelled like wet dirt and old wood. Every step I took echoed through the room. When I reached the crawl space, I noticed something strange. The shelves that were covering the door had been moved slightly. I knew Nana had tried to block it. But now the door was visible, and the padlock was open. That made no sense. Earlier, the lock looked like it had been stuck for decades. I even remembered touching it. Now the door was slightly open, just enough to see darkness inside. I stood there for a long time. I knew I should walk away, but I didn't. I slowly opened the door. The smell that came out made me step back. It smelled like rot, wet earth, and something else, something I couldn't describe. Something old, something wrong. I pointed my flashlight inside. The crawl space continued underneath the house. Dirt floor, stone supports, dark corners. At first, I saw nothing. Then the light moved to the far side, and I saw a chair, a wooden chair, sitting alone in the darkness, facing the wall. I don't know why, but that scared me more than anything else. It looked intentional, like someone had placed it there, like someone was supposed to sit there. I turned my flashlight toward the deeper part of the crawl space. That's when I heard it, a soft movement, a scrape, something shifting in the darkness. My hands started shaking, but I still whispered, "Hello." The second I spoke, everything stopped. No movement, no scratching, no sound, just silence. For a moment, I convinced myself I imagined it. Then something answered, not a voice, a breath. It was slow, long, and close, too close. I felt the air move beside my ear. I turned around with my flashlight. Nothing was there. The crawl space was empty. At least, that's what I wanted to believe.
I slammed the door shut and ran upstairs. I don't remember climbing the stairs. I don't remember getting back into bed. I only remember hiding under the blanket and turning on my phone, trying to distract myself, trying to pretend nothing happened.
The next morning, I told Nana everything. This time, she didn't laugh. She didn't say I was imagining things. She just stared at me. Then she finally told me why the crawl space had been locked. Years before I was born, Nana started hearing things beneath the house. Every night, scratching, crawling, breathing. At first, my papa thought it was an animal, something trapped under the floor. One night, he took a shotgun and went into the crawl space. Nana said he was gone for only 10 minutes. But when he came back, he was completely different. White as a ghost, terrified. He immediately nailed the crawl space shut. Then he added the strongest lock he could find. Nana asked him what he saw down there. He never answered, not once. The only thing he ever told her was, it wasn't an animal. A few months later, he died from a heart attack, and he took the truth with him. After hearing Nana's story, I tried to convince myself it was over. Maybe whatever was under the house had been gone for years. Maybe my papa had simply been scared of something normal. But deep down, I knew that wasn't true. Because that night, the footsteps came back. I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The house was completely silent. Then, at exactly 3 a.m., I heard it. Footsteps downstairs, slow, steady. Back and forth across the kitchen floor. Just like before, I pulled the blanket over my head. I tried telling myself it was just an old house. Old houses make sounds, wood expands, pipes move. That's what I kept repeating, until the footsteps stopped. For a few seconds, there was nothing. No movement, no sound. Then, 3 knocks, not from downstairs. From my bedroom door, knock, knock, knock. My entire body froze. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. After a few seconds, I whispered, "Nana," no answer. The hallway outside my room stayed completely silent. Then I heard something, a voice, very quiet, very old, coming from the other side of the door. Emma. My blood turned cold. Because Nana never called me that. Never. She always called me sweetheart. Or baby. Never Emma. The voice came again. This time closer. Emma. I stayed frozen under the blanket, waiting, hoping it would stop. Then suddenly, a scream came from downstairs. Nana. I jumped out of bed and ran into the hallway. I didn't think. I didn't hesitate. I just ran toward her. When I reached the kitchen, I saw Nana standing near the basement door. She was shaking, crying, pointing at the floor. I followed her finger, and my stomach dropped. The basement door was wide open. The light inside was on. And leading from the basement stairs into the kitchen were footprints, but not normal footprints. They weren't from shoes. They weren't from an animal. They were handprints. Hundreds of them all over the floor. Like something had crawled out of the basement using only its hands. Like it had dragged itself across the kitchen. We left the house before sunrise. Nana didn't even pack. She didn't take anything. She just grabbed her keys and told me, "We're leaving." And I never saw that farmhouse the same way again. Nana moved into assisted living the following year. The farmhouse stayed empty. No one wanted it. For almost 10 years, it sat abandoned in the woods. Until a contractor bought it. The contractor planned to renovate the place. At first, everything seemed normal, but 3 days later, he quit. He refused to explain. He only told people one thing. He said he kept hearing movement under the floors at night. Scratching, crawling, breathing, the exact same sounds Nana had heard years before. I tried to forget about the house. 4 years. I never looked it up. Never searched the address. Never talked about it. Until curiosity finally got the better of me. Last year, I found the farmhouse online. It was for sale. The pictures looked normal. Kitchen, bedrooms, basement, nothing unusual. Until I saw one photo. A photo of the crawl space. My heart stopped. The chair was still there. The same wooden chair, still facing the wall. Like someone had never moved it. But that wasn't what scared me, because when I looked closer, there was something in the corner behind it. Something the camera had accidentally captured. It looked like a person, crouching in the darkness. Pale skin, no clothes, so thin I could see every rib. And it was staring directly at the camera. The realtor removed the picture later. But I saved it. I showed it to people. Everyone noticed the same thing. The figure wasn't looking at the camera. It was looking past it. Like it wasn't watching the person taking the photo. It was watching whoever was looking at the picture, including me. And every time I opened that image, something changed. Something that wasn't there before. The last time I checked, I saw 3 muddy handprints, fresh, wet, on the wall behind the chair. Exactly like the ones in Nana's kitchen. Like something had just climbed out. Like it knew I was watching. I don't know what was living under that house. I don't know what my papa saw, but sometimes, late at night, I hear scratching behind my own walls, and every time I do, I wonder if that thing ever really stayed in Maine, or if it followed me home.